Hi, it's Margaret Maloney from PM Student with a quick mini lesson on types of estimates. People want to know how long is your project going to take and how much will it cost? It feels like that's the first thing they ask you as soon as you become project manager. Like they haven't even given you any chance to learn about the project yet. And since that's going to be so important, we need to think about how are you going to approach this? Well, the best estimates come from historic data and from using the right resources. And there's another PM student video on estimating pitfalls to avoid. So I'm not going to elaborate here, but at least know that historic data and using the right people, subject matter experts, and the ones who are going to do the work, this is what's going to save you and help you create estimates no matter what approach you use. And speaking of approaches, we're going to quickly look at three. When we talk about using an analogous approach, and you're probably familiar with the term analogy. An analogy is when we say this thing is like that thing. We use it sometimes in storytelling or to help make points. In estimating, analogous means we find a project that's very similar and we use that as our starting point. So if last year we did a similar kind of project, then we're going to use that as our starting off point. And we're going to pull the numbers from that project. We're going to update the estimate based on the differences. For example, if in last year's project we provided 4 points of functionality, and this year we're going to provide 5, then we need to increase our estimate. That's what we do with analogous. So it gives us something really good to start with as long as what we've chosen as a similar project is truly a similar project, right? We have something called apportioning. And look, here it is again. Find a previous project that is very similar. It's almost as if I'm saying over and over again, keep historic data and look for it and use it. Oh, wait, that's exactly what I'm saying. But apportioning means we look at that previous similar project and we divide the estimates across the phases by percentage. So we go back and we find that project and we say, oh yeah, it took us 20% of the time and money to do design and it took us 40% to do build. And so we're creating an estimate more across the top, but it can still be very effective. So that is apportioning, taking the previous number, looking where the time and money was spent, and dividing it up or apportioning it in that way. Parametric, using a mathematical formula. Okay, we're using math creating estimates no matter what, right? Whether we're doing time or money, we're using math. But what I'm saying is that you have a standardized formula that fits your work, that makes sense, that you can use. Like the example here about flooring, $14 per square foot, and the area to be covered is 200 square feet. 14 times 200, $2,800. This can be very reliable. It goes back to making the right choice, choosing the right formula that is applicable to the work, and in this case, is correct about the quality of the flooring that we're using. But we can be really accurate with parametric estimates. So we have all these great ways. Now, when we talk about bottom-up or detailed, what we're saying is you get your work breakdown structure and you create an estimate for every piece of actionable work, and then you roll that up. So you can come and you can roll all that up to get costs. You can begin to roll that up to get total amount of effort, which you can then use in your scheduling software to spread out across the days to see how long it's going to take, what the duration will be. But that bottom up, that's the most detailed. Now, this is the most involved. It takes the most amount of time. It tends to be the most accurate because of the time that we spend on it. And for each of the types of estimates, by the way, in a bottom-up estimate, you might look at a piece of work and say, oh, in order to have this room remodeled, we're putting in new flooring. So we're going to do a parametric estimate for the cost of the flooring. So you may find that your bottom-up estimate includes the use of parametric estimating or the use of analogous estimating. And in this way, it all works together. And what it is really about is finding the way to get the most accurate estimate, including the right people, and doing the absolute best you can, and keep clear records. This way, you're setting yourself up to be successful next time, right? So come up with, what was your original estimate? Why? What really happened? What was the difference? Why? And note other things, conditions, assumptions. And in this way, you are supporting yourself so that you can be the best possible estimator.